no villains, and I think that's been one of the problems of this series. There aren't any really challenging characters that create a villain. So it's the last leg, and the camp will start to feel the strain with campmates leaving. It's a really, really strange feeling when people start to leave, as you really, really miss what they offered in camp. And just having them around, really, we only see a small version of kind of what's happened in 24 hours, and it's around now that things start to really get to you. 2 weeks is a really long time being disconnected from the outside world and also from the people you love. And wow, what a storm. I thought we had really bad rain, but this has been the worst I've ever seen. It's crazy. Everything was flooding, the beds were soaking wet. How dull. It makes you literally not want to get out of bed, and you definitely want to start just sleeping more during this time, as time really, really starts to drag once you hit the 2 week mark, and everyone will be well and truly over it. At one point during the walk to one of my trials, my blood pressure dropped so low I almost collapsed, and I was literally seeing stars. They have an incredible medical team on site who always check over you, and on occasions they literally refuse to let you participate in the trials. Oh, Melvin, I really felt for him last night, but it was so nice to see the campmates rally around him, especially Barry and Oti. They are wonderful people. Oti and her motivational talk was so moving, and everyone goes through this at some point. It's really tough, lack of sleep and the continuous rain. And there are so many highs, but equally so many lows, and it gets even worse when your eyes start deceiving you. Twigs turn into snakes or worms. You feel like you are going literally stir crazy. Spiraling out of control, Barry, incredible. Wow, his hand went up to volunteer before anyone could say much. He's so selfless, and even tiredness and desperation didn't deter Barry from smashing the trial. True sportsman and a very, very humble man. 10 stars, absolutely incredible. Well done, Barry. Oh, the letters from home were so sad and so emotional. Alan's daughter's letter was magical, as was Melvin's. I've really grown to love Melvin. I think he's just such a humble, lovely, genuine person, and I'd love to see him in the final as well. Maura had to guess Casper the Ghost. That was brilliant. I love Dean in that one. Danny, Bolton Wanderers. Who did we have? Dean, Wee Chicken, Oti, Eero Island, Barry, Sherry Trifle, GK, Rabbi, Colleen, Petrol Station, Talisa, Lara Croft, she reminds me of Lara Croft, Alan, Butterfly Kisses, Reverend, more tea picker, obviously, Melvin, Mint Tea. Didn't seem too impressed with that, did he? When we first started to get our letters from home, it made me really, really emotional. I really missed my family at this point, and I was so ready to leave. For me, it was never about staying until the end. It was always about not getting out, voted out first. Then the rest was just a bonus. It was more the experience, the opportunity to be in a situation that you would never normally be in, with people that you probably wouldn't ever come across in everyday life. Emu sausage and chips. The camp loved that dinner. I'm glad Talisa washed and squeezed Alan's sausage though. GK and T smashed it. A 10-star review, and not a burnt sausage in sight. When we were in the jungle, we had some crazy stuff. We had ostrich egg, crocodile's feet. I can't remember what else we had. It was the most random thing, and you've obviously only got pans to work with and an open fire, and so you really have to try and use your imagination. Hero is Barry for the trial, and Reverend for his constant singing. No villains, and I think that's been one of the problems of this series. There aren't any really challenging characters that create a villain. They're all being way too nice. And the second campmate to leave the jungle was Dean. Do you know what? I'm actually really going to miss him, because he really did entertain the camp, and he did make me laugh. He was funny, but didn't he look absolutely over the moon to be leaving? Well done, Dean.